Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every single day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day under one condition. The condition is that we are Black first. Black first means we put our community at the top of our priority list. Black first means that we teach our kids about wealth. Black first means that we make sure that we prepare for the next generation. So if you agree with this philosophy, put a B1 in the chat. What's going on, everybody? I want to say hi to you who are coming in. I want to share this story real quick because I think this is something everybody should know, and this story should probably scare you just a little bit. Now, remember this morning I did a podcast, and I was telling you guys about the New York Stock Exchange and how stocks are kind of going down, and why, as we were talking about that, we were talking about Microsoft releasing their earnings report and how things were going bad. And let me just let you guys know, if you were to look up the Dow for today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, you would find that the Dow actually recovered. It recovered its complete loss. In fact, maybe I can actually share my screen with you guys for a second. If you're on Instagram, you won't see it, but I'll just describe it to you so you can kind of know what's going on here. But if you look here on this screen, right? You see this morning, this is one day. Look at what the market was doing this morning. It was getting hammered, getting killed, drop, dribbity, drop. Well, then all of a sudden, boom, 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 you had the rally, like a Rocky movie, like a major comeback story. And it was pretty beautiful that it all happened in the same day. And I was very happy for you because a lot of you woke up this morning in a bad mood because your stocks were losing money. Well, one thing I found out that really should scare you, in my opinion, if you're an investor, is I found out that part of the reason for the market volatility, part of the reason the market was going crazy, part of the reason that everything just kind of went haywire this morning is because there was a glitch on the New York Stock Exchange. There was a technical glitch where one of the people responsible for maintaining a backup system on one of their servers, actually located all the way in Chicago, where I live, and they didn't shut down the system. So when they didn't shut down this backup system, it caused stock prices to go crazy. Basically, what was supposed to happen was the prices were supposed to reset based on what they call the morning auction. You re-auction stocks, figure out where the price is. The price of an asset is based on what somebody's willing to pay for it. There has to be a transaction between a buyer and a seller. You can't just make it up out of thin air. Well, they didn't do the reset. So when they didn't do the reset, what that means is they took all the prices that they had from the day before, which caused stock prices to open up like just ridiculous all over the place. Give me a yes if you're kind of following this. Let me know if you kind of get what I'm saying here. Now, so this was a problem. The New York Stock Exchange is now faced with two particular issues as a result of this this problem they just had. One is they have to go back and give people a whole lot of money back. When they have one little glitch like this, they end up billions of dollars gets lost. Billions of dollars disappears into the ether. People are able to make trades at insane, ridiculous prices, like as far as 25-30% off what the market price is actually supposed to be. So it's almost like going to the store and they put the wrong price tags on all the items. Imagine if you went in the store and you wanted to get you a Gucci bag and you thought it was going to cost you $500 and you find out it cost you $80, right? You're going to grab that bag. You're going to buy that bag and then you're not going to want to give it back. Well, that's kind of what happened. Stocks were on sale this morning. And when the prices went down, again, I don't know how much of the price decline was connected to the glitch versus how much of it was natural, but I was buying stock all morning. I was taking money, buying, jumping in. When it goes down, I jump in and I dive in because things can recover very quickly. And if you saw today, you started seeing some green. You started seeing the market recover very, very fast. And why? Well, part of the reason is that there was a lot of good news. Tesla released a really favorable earnings report. There was some, the economic news on Microsoft, to me, I think was kind of an overreaction. The market tends to do that. It tends to be a drama queen and overreact to things. So prices end up going berserk. Now, I want to apologize first off. As you hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the share, subscribe, all that stuff. Also, give me a yes if you're investing for your family. Give me a yes that the conversations we're having are making a difference for you. Give me a yes. I need some moral support to let me know that what we're doing every single day is actually working, that you're changing your life and you're making a difference. Please don't just sit there. Please don't just listen and not do anything. Make an investment, make a move, do something for your family. We're building for the next generation. We're not preparing for 2024. We're preparing for 2074. That's when we're going to take over. That's when our grandkids are going to be balling and destroying things, or in a good way, just killing the game because their grandparents, which are us, did the right thing, right? So do the right thing for your family. I need to know that you're doing this. Okay. All right. So here's Here's my assessment on this, right? This is why this story was worth talking about in this podcast and why I think you should be concerned if you're an investor. I've told you guys when the FTX scandal happened with Sam Bankman-Fried, I told you that diversification is one of the most important rules of investing. If you ever hear anybody say, oh yeah, this investment I have is doing really well, so I put all my money in my business, or I put all my money in that stock, or I put all my money in that real estate deal, you need to hold them up. You need to hit the brakes, partner, because if you do that, when you put all your money in one place, you are in extreme danger of losing everything if one thing goes wrong. I don't care how secure an investment looks. I don't care how perfect it's been. I don't care how promising it looks to you. Everything can go bad. Everything has a risk factor. There's the known, the unknown, and the unknown. So risk can either be something that is real or something that is in your head or something that you know nothing about. But either way, you always have to be prepared. So the other piece of that too is part of diversification means putting your money in different exchanges. You do not put all your money in one exchange, even the New York Stock Exchange. You do not put all your money in one asset class. If you're a big real estate guy or real estate woman, don't have all your money locked up in real estate. Are you crazy? Spread your money out. If your business is doing well, don't put everything in your business, because if that business goes bad, then you're in big trouble. So please be very, very careful about that, because that can cause you some problems. And I think that the glitch in the New York Stock Exchange is an indicator that this exchange, the most valuable on earth, I believe it's the highest valued exchange on earth. I got to double check that, but I believe that it is one of the most high tech exchanges on earth, one of the most secure exchanges on earth. And it is pretty secure. I know somebody mentioned that the whole stock market's a Ponzi scheme. Well, theoretically, you can almost say everything's a Ponzi scheme, to be honest with you. Everything, not the technical sense. Like, technically, a Ponzi scheme is kind of linked to the idea that you got to recruit new people in order to keep the thing going. But to some extent, you could make that argument if you want to. And you can make the argument very accurately that America is a corrupt country. You can definitely make the argument that America is imbalanced in favor of rich people over poor people. All those things are true. So the question at that point is, well, now that you know the truth, now that we've revealed the big scandal that life ain't fair, what the hell are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Seriously, what are you going to do about it? You going to sit there and complain, sit on the sidelines like a punk, scared? Life ain't fair. Well, get used to it, man. Life ain't never been fair. Go back and show me any time in the history of this earth where life was fair. Do you get what I'm saying? Give me a guess if you understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to, anybody who's telling me, oh, it's all a scam, it's a scheme, it's blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Smart people have been taking money from unprepared people since the beginning of time. Informed people have an advantage over uninformed people. That's why I want you to be informed. Prepared people have an advantage over unprepared people. People take care of their own first. White people going to take care of other white people before they ever take care of your black butt. Asian people going to take care of other Asian people, their relatives, before they take care of you. That is a fact. So the question becomes at that point, what are you going to do? And if the answer is, I'm going to sit back and complain, well, I feel sorry for you, because I cannot find any point in history where sitting back and complaining or and watching other people get wealthy around you is ever a good strategy. That's just my 2 cents. That's what I believe, and I'm sticking to that. Now, one other thing that came to mind is, I did a little video the other day, just speaking more on investing and financial literacy and the importance of that. And I was in the Atlanta airport. Let me tell you guys a story. It's kind of interesting. So I was in the Atlanta airport, and my wife makes fun of me because I put a dirty sock on my suitcase, right, to make sure nobody steals it. Now, I know it's nasty. Some of y'all are like, oh, that's gross. My wife is like, boys, come on now, that's crazy. And I know it's crazy, but my brand of crazy, you know what that crazy does? It keeps my suitcase from ever being stolen. Nobody ever takes my suitcase because they see that dirty sock tied on there, and I know which bag is mine. I don't have to look at the tag. I see that sock and I know it's mine. System works perfect. Now, the only time a bag got taken from me, believe it or not, was in the Atlanta airport. I have no idea why this brother took a suitcase that had a dirty sock on it. Dude, you should have been paying attention. Luckily, he hadn't left the airport. They called him on the phone. He came back. We exchanged bags. I'm looking at him I'm looking at him in the side eye, wondering, like, were you on the little bus growing up? Because this has a dirty sock on it, and your bag ain't got no dirty sock. You got to pay attention. Stop that. But here's the point. So I'm in Atlanta again. Atlanta, all these great things happen in Atlanta. Atlanta is just like the place to be. I love Atlanta. All right, so that's why we're having the next All Black National Convention in Atlanta, because Atlanta is just the most interesting place on the planet. So I'm in the Atlanta airport. I'm checking into Delta. I'm telling the guy about this dirty sock, and I said, yeah, my wife thinks it's nasty, but I like it. I think it's a good system. He said, oh, I think it's brilliant. I said, why is it brilliant? What do you think? He said, well, because he said that it'll make sure nobody takes your bag. He said, we've actually had people in the Atlanta airport. I promise you, this is getting back to finance, so don't think I'm going too far off course here. But I need y'all to hear this story. I think it's a good one. So he says, we've had problems with people coming into the airport and stealing bags. I said, really? He said, yeah, 2 people got arrested this month for walking up to the baggage claim and stealing bags. So that's one little note. Like, when you travel, just watch your stuff, man, because people do actually walk in there and take stuff. But then he said that the last guy that got arrested was a former NFL player. He said the guy got arrested. He was well known because he used to be in the NFL. I don't know his name. Maybe I can Google it. Let me see. Let me look it up. Let me see. NFL player arrested for stealing luggage. I'm gonna put airport in here. Let's see what comes up. Let's see. Oh, Damian Parms came right up. Damian Parms. Police body camera footage shows a former NFL player arrested on theft charges in the baggage claim area of the Atlanta airport. Police said Damian Parms rifled through luggage at Hartsfield Airport. Officers questioned him in the baggage claim area of the airport. So this is apparently a body cams. I don't know who Damian Parms is. Let me see. Damian Parms. I promise you I'm getting to something here. So let's see. Who did he play for? Damian Parms. Looks like he's good. 6'2", 210. Looks like a pretty good athlete. Young, 30 years old. He went to college at Florida Atlantic University. And let's see here. He played for the Carolina Panthers, the Atlanta Falcons. And okay, so anyway, I don't know what year he retired, but it was probably pretty young because he's only 30 years old. Now, here's where this story was interesting to me. When you think about NFL players, do you think about them being poor or rich? When you think about a guy making it all the way to the NFL, like kids in the hood practicing night and day all night long to try to, make it to the All-Star, Pee Wee All-Star camp, do you think that they think the NFL players are going to have money, or do you think they're going to be broke stealing luggage in the airport when they're 30? Like, what do you think they expect their future to look like? Do you think they expect to be poor or rich? Type in the chat. Okay. All right. So rich, right? We expect NFL players to have money. The average NFL salary is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's really great. Now, one factoid that many of you already know, but I'm going to repeat this for those who don't, is that the average NFL career is very, very short. And it's super short for positions that Black people tend to play, like running back, wide receiver, stuff like that. You're talking about like 2.5 years, right? Very, 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 very short. So that's the first thing, right? So you retire young. Now you got nothing else to do. if you did not have any other marketable skills that allow you to make money. Now you've got a big problem though. During that time, when you got a taste of the good life, you got a taste of what it means to be a baller, both on and off the field. Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. I've had money for a while in my life, and making money, it becomes like an acquired taste. It becomes a lifestyle to which you quickly become accustomed, and you just don't. It's hard to go from being paid to broke. It's just hard. You get used to like getting like the Starbucks latte and not looking at the price. You get used to going to stay at the 5-star hotels as opposed to the 3-star hotels. Like going to Motel 6 now just ain't what it used to be when you were a teenager, right? And it's true. I'm not making fun of anybody who's struggling financially. We all are. We all have done that at some point. But I can tell you, my wife is spoiled because her husband knows how to make money. He knows how to invest, right? So here's the thing, right? So I feel bad for people who get a taste of the good life but don't have the ability to maintain that good life, right? Like so what I'm thinking about is I'm imagining this guy, Damian Parms. I don't know him, and if he's watching this video, I'm not making fun of you. I wish you the very best. But I'm thinking about the lifestyle that comes with being the NFL player, right? I'm sure when he signed the contract on draft day, he wasn't thinking that he'd be 30 years old getting caught allegedly stealing luggage in an airport. I just don't think that he had that plan for his future. He probably pictured himself winning some Super Bowls, getting one of those max contracts, making $20 million a year. I don't think he visualized what actually occurred. And so what I'm seeing here, right, is that you get pulled in this world. And what's really sad is that you have so many of these guys that all they know how to do really well is play football. The only way, if you say, well, how do you make money? What are the ways to actually make money in this world? A lot of them will say, catch balls, throw balls, run the 40-yard dash, lift weights. That's all they know. The only way they know how to make money is by playing football. if anybody raises a kid in that context, you're doing a horrible disservice to that child. The same way you taught him how to run the 40-yard dash and how to catch a football going down the field or how to block the defense. You can also teach him how to invest in stocks. You can teach him how to invest in real estate. You can teach him how to save his money. You can teach him how to start a business. Right? It takes less energy to learn how to start a business than it does to learn how to run a West Coast offensive scheme, or to even, in football. I was the second fastest guy on my team in the 6th grade, but I never got to play. I was the backup running back, and I was also the backup safety. And the reason I didn't get to play, you know why? Was because I didn't understand the plays, because I had attention deficit disorder. I could not pay attention long enough to learn the plays. So when the coach put me in the game and told me to run a 44 blast, the whole team went left and I went to the right because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. That's crazy, right? And I have a PhD, right? So playing football and stuff requires a lot of mental dexterity and thinking on your feet, and you got to do a lot of studying and everything else. So I'm trying to just really understand how you can have guys who can really excel on the football field, but not really excel in every other aspect of life. So clearly you're putting all your effort into one area and not putting effort into the other area. So then what happens, Damian Parms, is that you get in the NFL, you get a taste of the good life, you hang around the ballers. White and Jewish people want to be around you because they see you as a cash cow. And then when they don't want you anymore, they spit you out and they find somebody to replace you. And then you're out in this world and you're addicted to making lots of money. You become addicted to the money. You formed an addiction. An addiction to me is when you have something you need. It doesn't necessarily make you feel good anymore, but you need it in order to feel normal. If they take it away, you have withdrawal, right? You get what I mean? Like if you have bills up to here, like you got 3 babies, mamas, and 4 apartments that you're paying for, and 6 cars, and 2 cousins or 3 or 4 cousins that you're taking care of financially, right? You got all these bills. You got $100,000 a month in bills, and then no income. And not only do you have no income, but you have no ability to earn income at the level that's going to allow you to pay $100,000 a month in bills. The only way you could actually pay $100,000 a month in bills at that point is if you get a call back from the Dallas Cowboys, or if the Carolina Panthers suddenly decide they need a defensive back. So then you're stuck in this horrible purgatory where you are this ripped, well-trained athlete, pumped up full of steroids and anything else that you need, and painkillers and everything else, so you can be in peak physical shape. And none of the teams are calling you because you're a 28-year-old old man. You're a senior citizen now compared to the young 21, 22-year-old buck they can get that's coming out of Clemson or coming out of Georgia, right? So this, to me, when I heard that story about this guy getting arrested stealing luggage at the airport, I really thought about all the different times I've seen guys who make big money in sports, and then they get out of sports and they're not making big money anymore. So then they have to take those penitentiary chances to maintain an income level that matches the income to which they've become accustomed. Do you follow what I'm saying? Give me a yes if you hear what I'm saying in this. Again, let me know if this was worth it. I know I took y'all around the world to tell this story, but I had to do it because there's a deep, deep, deep financial lesson in here. If you want to understand finances, don't go just read a book. Don't go just take a class. Go look at at God's classroom called life. Life has financial lessons everywhere. In fact, I challenge you, the next movie you're watching, if you're watching a Netflix show, if you're watching a show like, what's that, Kaleidoscope on Netflix, shout out to Robert Townsend. It's a great show. Kaleidoscope is all about financial literacy, financial intelligence, and what happens when you don't have that. That's all Kaleidoscope is about. I told my wife, I said, this ain't nothing but a finance class. These people are ruining their lives trying to get paid because the only way they know how to make money is by robbing a bank. And because that the only way they know how to make money is by robbing a bank, they're taking penitentiary chances. They're ruining their lives. They're ruining the lives of their friends. They're ruining their mental and physical health. They're putting themselves in dangerous situations because nobody ever taught them how to make money legally. There are ways for you to get paid like a bank robber without robbing the bank. There are ways for you to be a baller that don't involve catching a ball. Do you follow what I am saying? And what I really just want to encourage you to do is do that for your children. Put them in that position now. Like if you do things, again, my website, boycewatkins.com, or if you go to click link on Instagram, there's a $5 a day plan. I put it together. It's free. Like the book is free. You can buy, if you want to buy a copy and have the copy in your head, it's a thin little book. If you want to have a copy, you can order it on Amazon. But I made it free because I really want to let you know, like in 30 years from now, if anybody's ever like, did you ever hear about this guy, Boyce Watkins? What are you talking about? One of the things I want you to talk about is I want you to say, yeah, he kept on telling me that if I started investing way back in 2023, our family would be wealthy by now, right? Like I want you to remember that because this is what I'm repeating a million times because I have to break through your disbelief. I have to break through your false belief that because you're black, you're supposed to be poor, or because you were born poor, you're supposed to struggle, or because white people have money, you're not supposed to have any. No. Do you understand? Check this out. Did y'all know that if you took that we know black people made $1.6 trillion last year, right? Y'all know that stat. If you went and we talked about GDP, right? But what if you looked at countries ranked based on the tax revenue of the government, like all the money that the government collects in taxes? Did you know that the black community has more income than the total tax collections of every single country on the planet except the United States? The only two countries that are tied with us are Japan and Canada. We literally have a total income in our community that matches the total tax revenue of Japan. And Japan is a very rich country. So we have plenty of money available. We just don't always have the vision on what to do with that money. We don't necessarily know how to take the money and turn it into wealth. We're not necessarily trained to do that. I personally think that needs to be the number one thing you're teaching your kids when they're young, and by having those simple conversations so your son doesn't, think he's going to the NFL and then end up being 30 years old stealing luggage out of the airport. I think that's just sad. That's just really sad. And I can tell you, if you, while you're an athlete, if you formed a drug addiction, or if you formed a baby mama's addiction, or or some other type of addiction that might cause you to, or even a financial addiction, addictions are expensive. So when you leave the NFL and you're not making $300,000 a month anymore, or $1 million a month, then now you're making nothing, and you still have to feed your addictions, which leads to the point I've made to you guys before. They say that money is the root of all evil. Money's not the root of all evil. The love of money isn't the root of all evil. I believe that the lack of money can be a bigger root to all evil, because when you don't have the money to feed your addictions, then you might turn into an evil person in order to get that money. Can I get an amen in the chat if you understand what I'm saying? That a good person who needs money to feed a need, it might either be an addiction or it might be something that's not quite an addiction. You might be addicted to loving your kids. You got to feed that addiction. My children got to eat. That a lack of money for a person who needs that money can cause them to become an evil person, technically, according to society. Next thing you know, you're in jail and people are calling you a bad person when you really weren't a bad person. You were just a person who was in a bad financial situation, and your parents never loved you enough to teach you how to overcome that in a legal, ethical way. So many people end up in bad situations because they're trying to figure out how to make money and they don't know how to do it, which is no different from me going out here and trying to fix my car, and I ain't never been a mechanic. If I go in there and I try to fix that car and change the carburetor and move stuff around, that car is going to break down. So ultimately, you have to prepare your kids for that future if you want them to be successful. That's my 2 cents. That's my thought for today. I hope that helps some of you, and I hope that you implement some of what we're talking about. I don't want you to be talkers. We're not talkers here. I want you to be doers, right? So tell me what you are doing, what you're going to do for your kids. You got to do it now. You got all the time in the world. That little boy is 2 years old. If you start working now, you can have that kid set up for life. It's very basic. Just keep coming back to me, and I'll help you get there, okay? All right, guys. That's it. That's my 2 cents for today. One of the things that we do have, I mentioned this to you guys before. I'm always mentioning it because I want everybody to know about it. We have financial flashcards for kids. If you want to take a look at our financial flashcards, just go to financialflashcards.com, or if you're on Instagram, hit the link in the bio. They're right there. We also have financial workbooks for kids, so you can feel free to take a look at that. And also I have a new book. My book is out. It's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. You can either buy it by going to my website, boycewatkins.com, or you can go to Amazon and get it. If you want to get a copy off Amazon, that's fine too. I don't care. Amazon takes a cut, but it's not a big deal to me. I just want you guys to read it. And I asked, if you get it off Amazon, just please leave a review. The reviews have been very good. They're pretty close to 5-star. I'm very, very proud. And I believe this book can change your life. I designed it that way, and I think I know what I'm doing. All right, guys. So have a wonderful day. God bless you. And I will check back in with you tomorrow. For now, I'm going to go hang out with my wife, and we're watching a show called 1883, which is really good. It's on Paramount Plus. And that's an inspirational show because it shows you how legacies are built, and I think it's pretty powerful. What's the website? My website is boycewatkins.com, just like my name, or you can go to financialflashcards.com if you want to get the flashcards, financialflashcards.com, or if you're on Instagram, just hit the link in my bio, and it's all right there. So take care, guys. God bless you. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Take care now. Peace.